All right, thank you all so much for joining us today for how to recover delivery losses and maximize the profitability of your delivery channel. Today, I'm so excited. We're going to dive into who is Delegate, what's going on with the delivery channel, how our losses are occurring, how do I recover manually, and what are my options for automated recovery. And then at the end, my favorite part, we're going to do Q&A. Please, please, please ask away. Any question you have, somebody else likely has the question. So please leverage this time today for you to ask anything that you've been curious about over the past, since 2018 really is when this started to blow up. So please use that. I'm so excited that you're here. My name's Jay Coleman. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Delegate, and delivery is something that I've been so excited to not only learn about, but then to also share, right? This is a huge opportunity and it's helping clients every single day maximize their business. So I'm really excited and grateful to be talking to you about this today. I am joined by Matt Giller, who is our product manager and delivery expert. Matt has spent the last 3 years dedicated to the ins and outs of understanding delivery and the opportunity that it has for businesses just like yours. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Jay. Pleasure to be here and super excited to jump in and do a little educational piece on delivery data.
So who's Delegate? That's important to know, right? You're spending 30 minutes with us, which we're grateful for. At the core, we're restaurant people. Our go-to-market team alone has more than 200 years of experience. And why this is important? It's because we know your business and have lived your journey and pain points and wins and opportunities and who we serve. So we serve more than 18,000 restaurant locations. And according to Franchise Times Magazine, we work with half of the top 40. And how do we work with all of these people? Just like you, through data. We're restaurant people first, we're data experts as well. And so we provide data in the form of operational data, loss prevention, delivery reconciliation, and recovery, which we're going to talk about today. So as you all know, delivery has boomed, especially since COVID, right? More than 13,000% increase since 2018. And so what this means is with major booms and channels and changes comes great opportunities. So today I'm so excited to cover what does this mean for you and what are your options for managing this new channel? So before we dive into that, Matt, can you tell us more about what delivery loss is so that we're all on the same page?
Yes, thanks, Jay. So delivery loss, this is the culprit. This is the difference of when you're looking at your point of sales versus what you're getting for sales from your delivery service providers. It's going to be delivery loss. Delivery loss comes in 2 forms. First one is those canceled, not paid orders, those pesky ones that no one's happy because it reduces the entire order to a $0 value. So when you hear canceled, not paid, it's an entire order that is reduced to $0. The other one is going to be error charges and adjustments. Those are going to be when an order is missing and one or more items, or if it has an incorrect order, and that reduces the order partially. So these 2 are the culprit of delivery loss. And I will say this has been more of a upcoming topic I've been hearing out in the market. I'm even hearing from franchisees that they're adding delivery loss to their bonus plan for RGMs and area coaches, where it is now managed more on the operations side so they can reduce their delivery loss. And if you remember, like Jay just a slide ago talked about the ever-growing channel of delivery sales. So with that, there does come some implications or challenges. And these are the two forms that we just need to manage to make sure that we're maximizing revenue for you. All right, so the delivery process in its whole, as this is pulling up, the top portion is going to be like the perfect order. Like if this happened every time, there'd be no delivery loss. And the bottom's going to be those two forms of delivery loss. So step one, I'm ordering food through my app or through the computer with a delivery service provider. So that's step one, as the customer places the order. The second step is the point of sale system accepts the order, and the order is sent to the kitchen to start making the food. Now, this would be, as an example, if there was like a stood up integration through a delivery service provider where they're automatically sending the food over to the restaurant. And then after that food is made, there's some process in place to, put the bag, if it's on a shelf or they're waiting for the delivery driver to pick it up, there's some kind of holding area. And then the delivery driver picks up the food. They drive it to the customer, and then the customer, food is delivered, the customer receives the order. So this is the perfect cycle. No loss occurs. Everyone's happy, restaurant and customer. So where delivery loss does happen down below is, if that order was canceled. So in this case, I'll give you an example. Food was made, the restaurant, placed it into a staging location, and the delivery driver just didn't make it to the restaurant. They didn't pick up the order. So what happens there in this example is the restaurant has a positive sales for that order still in their system. It's a one-way flow. But what happens at the end of the week when they receive that order in the weekly deposit report, it's going to say $0 value. So there will be a difference between point of sales and what the delivery service provider provides you. The second one, the air charges adjustments. So this is when, the customer opens up their bag, their order is delivered, and they notice they're missing an item. So if it's a cookie, if it's a drink, if it's, an entire order, or if it's incorrect order, what happens is the customer contacts the delivery service provider and then credits them that amount of what they were missing. In this case, it's a partial order. So there is going to be a discrepancy on what the point of sales is displaying versus what they're getting at that weekly deposit report of what is deposited into their bank account. So those are the two forms. All right, so why should you recover? It's not obvious, but you want to maximize your profits, right? You want to make sure when you're getting those weekly deposits for your locations from the delivery service providers, it's you want to make sure you don't have delivery loss happening. So you want to maximize all of your revenue. So that's step one. Step two is just understanding those losses are occurring. How are you teaching your teams? How are you talking about it in your organization? This is an ever-growing channel, and you need to be on top of this because delivery loss for some people that have high delivery percent in their channel sales, this could be the largest loss metric you have right now in all of your locations. So it's a must-have. Okay, so I'm going to go through the first option, manual recovery. So if you elect to do it yourself, here's how you do it. Number one, identify. So this is going to take 5 to 10 minutes. You're going to log into each of the 3 delivery service providers if you have the big 3, and you're going to run reports. And you're going to need to find those canceled, not paid orders and those adjustment orders. Now, there's a lot of different columns in these reports, but you can find them. You just need to do the right filter. So that's step one, is identifying those orders. Step 2 is going to be disputing. So some of that information that you found on those reports, you're going to have to copy, paste, and put it in this web form so you can have your case set up so you can submit it to the delivery service provider to dispute that order. So once that's done, you're going to verify. And what happens here after you submit a dispute is you get a kickback email that says that they've received your dispute, and the next one could take a couple minutes or it could take a couple hours, and it's going to tell you either won or you didn't win with some of the details. So once you get that email, you're able to see that. But you also you need to verify that's going to be coming out in your weekly report. So then you're going to have to pull your weekly report, days down the road to verify, and you have to save that order ID that you have in this email to verify in your reporting that was credited, like that canceled not paid, or that canceled not paid turned into a canceled paid in your report. So that's the verifying report. Number 4 is going to be repeat. So this happens, that's per order. So you're going to have to extrapolate that over and over and over again across all of your locations and all of your orders. And we find that each location, the average is about 30 disputes per month per location. So if you take that 6 to 10 hours per location per month, that's $300 to $500. So that right there, if you're doing this, it could be 1 or probably 2 full-time employees, or if you're running a 50 plus organization.
Thanks so much, Matt. That's a lot. That's a lot of time, but thank you for going over the process. So now you all know how to do it manually. So now let's talk about option 2, leveraging technology to recover. Some benefits of this include oftentimes it recovers more than manual. Technology is more efficient. Another option or benefit, I should say, is visibility into recovery totals. You're able to look through and see what location recovered how much, and then you might even be able to notice some trends and take action on those. And of course, what we hear most often as a benefit, no effort. You just sit back and recover, and it's a quick setup. So you can spend your time working on the business versus in it. Another thing that we hear about recovery is people love sitting back on Wednesday mornings as they're having their coffee and receiving their weekly email. This email tells you how much you recovered this week and how much you recovered this year. Let's dive into a little bit about how Glencoe Management has seen success using recovery. They're a 45-unit Burger King operator, and they've seen a success rate of 71% right out the gate. It took 9 days from signing to recovering, and hours saved 3,240. Holy cow, that's so many. And again, in 9 days, they understood the problem, they understood the opportunity, and they quickly took action. Thank you so much, Rocky, for providing also this testimonial to say it's simple, the process is easy, and I don't have to think about it. I can sit back and focus on running other facets of my business. So here are next steps. 1, I encourage all of you to get a recovery assessment. Knowledge is power. So once you know the opportunity within your business in terms of recovery amounts, you're able to make then a decision whether or not manual or an option like recovery is best for your business. So again, assessments are free. Knowledge is power. I strongly encourage, we're going to in fact drop the link right now into the chat so that you can make sure to get your assessment and then begin recovering. No matter which way you choose, taking action on this now is so important to you and your business. So those are your options. Let's move now into Q&A.
All right, I got one that's coming through, Jay, already. What's included with Plus Recovery? Is the dashboard free?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Yes, the dashboard is free. And as I mentioned also, you get that weekly email that tells you how much you recovered this week, how much you recovered total, and quick, easy access right below that. You just click to view my dashboard and all the information's right there. And I don't know if we talked about this, Matt, feel free to chime in, but from that dashboard, you have the ability to drill down at store level to see recoveries, or you can do it by group. Say you have a bunch of stores, you want to see just a region, like you have the ability to pick and choose how you view your data as well.
Yeah, and one thing to add on top of that too, Jay, and this may be on top of the minds of the people watching, but how often is that dashboard updated? And remember when I was talking about getting those weekly reports earlier. So that's when our dashboard is updated. We're waiting for those final weekly deposit reports to come out so we can finalize our numbers. So those dashboards that are free of charge update 3 times a week. So on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Awesome. Thank you. I should have worn my glasses today. Tell me, is this available for all brands and services?
Yeah, so this
Systems, I'm sorry, all brands and systems.
yeah, good question. So this is in the restaurant business, there's so many point of sale systems and so many different third-party vendors. It's a great question. And this is not dependent on anything. We work with all brands, all systems, and currently right now we're well over or 40, I think we're even at 50 plus right now, different brands that we're servicing with our Plus Recovery tool.
Wonderful. And then there's another one here, Matt. Where does my money come from? And I think what they mean by this is how I'm going to take a flyer. How do I get my money back?
Yeah, yep, gotcha. And this comes up from time to time. So the one thing to know first and foremost is nothing's exchanged with Delegate. You have everything set up currently with your delivery service providers, and all that additional revenue goes right into your weekly accounts. So nothing's exchanged. It's all just pushed through as a credit, and we give you all that information on how we have instructions on how to reconcile, our service or report versus those delivery service provider reports. So it's very easy to see how those were credited into your accounts. Great question.
Awesome. Well, I want to honor everybody's time here. If we didn't get to your question, no worries. Drop it in the chat still, and we will respond. We'll stay on and respond that way. Thank you all so much for your time. It's valuable. I hope you learned something, and we look forward to seeing your delivery assessments come through. And have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.